afternoon. Can you see my slide? Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Ah, yes, merci.
Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, everyone. Bon après-midi.
Good afternoon, madame.
Bon après-midi, madame.
De répondre. Now I know you're there. Donc, aujourd'hui, we will start directly with Unit 7 and Unit 8. Unit 6, vous pouvez élaborer la prochaine fois. Donc, on est dans la révision à cause de l'examen basé mainly on that. Donc, Unit 7, right? C'est gerontology and psychology. So welcome back to the session. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be sharing knowledge with you. So what is old age? What are the signs of aging? Visible, pas visible, internal, external, thoughts, skin, how social worker may deal with elderly, right? Look, I have a YouTube video that I would like to show you at the end of the session. Maintenant, when we talk on gerontology, we have one term which is called geriatric and gerontology, which are same. I mean, geriatric is a branch in medicine that deals with illness and care of age, right? Maintenant, gerontology is the study of factors affecting the normal aging process, right? Donc ça, c'est une différence qu'il y a entre les deux. Par exemple, in MBBS ou bien at hospital, we have a course which is called palliative care. Palliative care, right? Palliative care means how do you cater for people who are aged? Ou bien when an aged person is admitted in hospital, ou bien bound to be at home, right? What would be the essential to conduct? Quel assessment nous capable faire, etc. Donc, aging population, this would be the word that we will be using in this module, right? Donc, just to clarify, today we have 1 hour session. Donc, 1 heure à 14 heures, nous vous couvrons Unit 7 and Unit 8. And as a surplus, I will also email you parce que je connais où livre et il y a beaucoup de littérature that you will know exactly where to focus. Donc, le mot aging population, the world is facing a challenge, right? And this challenge affects modern economy. Challenge, c'est quoi? Ça veut dire mainly in countries like Japan, Germany, China, people get married ou bien people cohabit and people do not want to have child, right? Aging population veut dire quand un couple pas envie et n'a enfants ou bien quand un couple décide pour gagner only one child per family. Au fait, this was a criteria. This was a policy before. In China, in Japan, they were not allowed to have more than one child per family, right? Parce que tu as trop de population. Donc, pour amener un contrôle de la population, nous mettons legislation, only one child per family. But with time, what happened? People are educated, people want to live their life, and people do not want to conceive kids. Donc, du coup, you have less children who are born, and we have all these people who are, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, with lots of a change in lifestyle. Donc, il n'y a plus beaucoup awareness. How do we take care of ourselves? Comment nous capables prolonger nous la vie, etc. Donc, du coup, people live more. People who are old, they live more. And people, children are not born. You know, auparavant dans l'histoire, maximum people would peak at 40. 40 ans, people would die. C'était un trend very natural. Now, du coup, anyone can say oldest living human being qui l'âge là? Anyone knows about that? That would be a lady. She's 112, 112 ans, right? Donc, à Maurice même, nous trouvons souvent des fois, nous avons un centenaire, people who celebrate birthdays and all that. Donc là, the world is facing a challenge because of aging population. Il y a trop beaucoup de personnes qui above 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and it affects modern economies. Maintenant, nous parlons.
Allô, madame?
Yeah, yes.
Allô?
Oui, yes. Can you hear Fatma? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Il y a quelqu'un qui a dit tout à l'heure, la réponse c'est peut-être you can't hear me. Okay, donc when we talk on modern economy, right? Le mot modern economy means latest advancement that we have in all areas. So whatever we're doing right now, it is in your book, page 73. Right? If you have your PDF or if you printed your book, please refer on page 73. Now, modern economy, for example, we have latest advancement in all areas of international economics. For example, production.
Madam?
Yes?
Madam,
Oui. Yes?
there is no sound.
You can't hear me.
Where is my microphone?
You hear me now? You hear me? Can you hear me now? Yeah, I can read. Yeah, but few of you can't hear because you have an issue at your end, right? Of course, I'm reading chat like Ashna, etc. She can hear me. Okay, so I can see message you wrote 118. Wow, allez, 119 Emma, right? Those who cannot hear, please disconnect. Merci Vinesh. Merci beaucoup. Merci Devika. Merci Cheshta. Okay. Now, the aging population, right? For example, modern economy. Please serve at your end. How are we being affected right now, Maurice? You know, at Ministry of Social Security, Bâtiment MPF, there is a department which is called gerontology. And 10 years back, they started a survey. They kick-started a survey and now it is dead, right? Donc, c'est un département qui almost nothing new. If you have the motivation, please go dig in and get stuff or contribute in that, right? Donc, nous, avec une population de 1,3 million, you would also go and dig in. How many newborns did we have for the last, you know, à part confinement, tu n'as pas newborn, you know. Mais avant confinement, it is very less. And even we often hear news in media, in newspaper, where, you know, people get babies and then they are not interested in the babies, they would leave them, etc. Now, these would be alarming situation in Mauritius because nous trouvons people are not interested to be parenting new kids. Et aussi, il y a low birth rates, low fertility, right? Low mortality rates also. Why? Because many women, they choose to get married 30, 40 plus, right? Comparativement auparavant, when we used to get married at 18, 19 and have many kids. No, because women work. Now, working women, they do not want to contribute in having many kids and raising many kids, etc. Now, this is a very alarming situation in Mauritius, right? And then, donc, deux choses, il y a aussi le low mortality rates because people are living more and more because all of these facilities which are available now. Maintenant, other aspects of aging, you know, we have evolution, we have mutation, genes, regulations. Il y a aussi at all level, you have policies, how to take care of your body, how to you know, your immunity, how can you be, your rate of living, your style of living, tout ça in contribuer for us to have a better life and then people are living more. Yeah, a beautiful words which we call neuroendocrine. Those of you who studied biology would know words like endocrine qui fait beaucoup avec your immunity, your capacity to survive in situations, right? Maintenant, we have 3 theories in aging. The first theory would be wear and tear theory. This would mean living organism, which means us, or like machines, right? Par exemple, nous avons un car servicing. Après ça, 3 mois, nous allons faire un servicing pour nos voitures, right? Donc, we also have lots of health package in clinic, in hospital, where they would go for a complete health check quickly. Within 24 hours, you get a report and you know what is not good in your body, and then you renew yourself. And then we also have body accumulates pollution. Par exemple, quand on veut dire pollution, what do we mean by pollution? Do we mean air pollution ou bien whatever comes in, you know? Donc, it means pollution, par exemple, your skin get dries avec une situation with ozone layer. These would be external pollution. But internal pollution, for example, you don't eat a healthy diet. There is no physical activity. Ou bien, nous avons beaucoup de stress, beaucoup de depression, beaucoup anxiety. Donc, all these, it lowers your immunity, right? Maintenant, est-ce que nous nous entendons parler que nous avons un conseil que dit à nous, pas faire l'exercice, il arrive 60 ans, 70 ans, stop doing exercise. No one ever says. We always spoke at all age, please practice physical activity, yoga ou bien peu importe quoi, parce que these are the tools that keeps you active, right? Maintenant, your second theory would be cellular theory. It means errors in self-division occur throughout life. Maintenant, often, we know there are errors in self-division quand nous avons des enfants qui naissent autrement capables. Right? But we also have errors in self-division throughout life, depending on your lifestyle, right? Depending on what you choose to put into your body and your thoughts. Donc là, nous trouvons une situation qui est là. Whole life, it would contribute to the degenerative conditions that we see later in life. Par exemple, right? Nous avons deux individuals who are 60 years old. One of them would be highly active, bien radiant, bien motivé, and the other one would be bedridden with lots of disease. This relates directly to their lifestyle. Comment ils vivent throughout their life? Par exemple, comment nous pouvons prendre McDonald's, Kentucky, pizza 3 fois par semaine, ou bien I don't know how many takeaway you take per month, per week. This also contribute to your lifestyle. Aussi, talking about you, what would be the contributing factor quand nous pas faire aucune activité, aucun exercice, right? Quand nous pas trouve l'importance to self-invest in yourself, this would contribute, and we see the results later in life. Your third theory would be immunity theory, which means changes in immune system. It results in physical degeneration. Là, par exemple, physical degeneration, pas veut dire qu'on a un CV blanc, you know? Donc, physical degeneration veut dire when you feel weak, ou bien you feel you have no energy, you are 40, you're 30, you're 45, 50. Nous paraît comme si nous older what you were supposed to contribute. Now, another point would be age-related changes in the body. For example, we all know, because we all live with aged people. It could be your partner, it could be your parents, your grandparents, your uncle, peu importe. Donc, they do have signs. Par exemple, memory loss, qui nous appelle dementia. Tout à l'heure, on va parler sur dementia, right? Often, aged people forget things, right? Ou bien, they would use words which are contradictory to what they mean. Ou bien, they would have high blood pressure. Ou bien, they have difficulty in breathing. Vous pouvez nous faire des pas, 3 pas, après le commencement, les souffles. Ou bien, their skin becomes pale and fragile. And they also have hearing loss. Que des 3 fois, you have to again repeat and repeat the same thing. Vous trouvez que vous avez beaucoup de patience avec une personne qui âgée. And they also have vision problems. They have decrease in stamina. And they have high heart rate. These are only few of many things that happen to aged people. Now, Your search would be, we do have policies about aging in Mauritius, right? Now, quickly, in 5 minutes, please surf in internet right now, because I know if I tell you to go and work, you know, only few of you, I have the names, few of you who took the pain to write and send an answer. I know you are very busy with your work, but please work on it right now, and we will discuss in 2 minutes policies about aging in Mauritius and list down the proposed measures to deal with this issue. Donc, those of you quickly sur un portable ou bien Internet, vous pouvez just minimize this PowerPoint and identify. Donc, I also have your list. Also, je vous prends nom aujourd'hui, if I know if you're here or you're not here. Donc, you would give me the answer, you would give us the answer, not to me, but to everyone. Quel est un type de policy qu'il y a in aging in Mauritius? Please surf it right now. I will give you a quick tip. You can have the answer in the Protection of Elderly Person Act. Anyone would tell me which year? Quelle année ça?
2005.
Yes, allez. Look, you know, I'm also noting your feedback. Those of you who are here and not here, bien. Par exemple, I've never heard from Saroja. Saroja, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Ali. Donc, please dig in quickly, and then now I'll be looking at your name, and then I'll be asking you a question to know that you are there somehow. But the good news would be everyone passed your assignment. Il y a malheureusement, 2 of you who did not submit assignment, right? Everyone passed. La plupart, comment I promised you, I gave maximum marks because you had a direct question, right? And you still have time, those of you who have not, right? Please send it to me. Même si vous pénalisez, but you won't fail, right? Donc, getting back to your policy, we have the Protection of Elderly Person Act 2005, right? C'est la loi qui set up a legal and administrative framework for greater protection and assistance to elderly person in Mauritius, right? Now, other than this policy, right? Il y a aussi, we call it Université Troisième Âge Maurice. How many of you know about this? University of Third Age Mauritius. How many of you know, or how many of you have any member of your family enrolled in this university? Allez, if you're not aware, c'est une université exclusivement for 60 plus and those who are retired, right? Donc, par exemple, il y a un professeur qui est retire, il y a un officer de gouvernement qui est retire. And what they do, they would have groups in that university and they brainstorm about their life, their biography, about their perspective. It's a sharing association, come see, right? I will give you more details later. Look, anyone has any search on that right now? Anyone can share on policies about aging? Or you're feeling sleepy? I'm going to you're feeling lazy, right? Okay, if you have, feel free, you can talk, you can stop me and talk. Meantime, I'll continue. Look, older people are prone to high number of mental problems. But I would not agree with that, would you? Right? I would say not only older people, it could be younger people. At all age, people are prone to mental problems right now. You know, even primaire, secondaire, tertiaire. Look, these would be theory. It's bound to be. It is challenging to deal with these psychological issues, but the following are recommended. Parce que effectivement, you can work with an adult or an adolescent, but to work with older people, you need lots of patience, right? Now, the first would be adjustment to stress of late life. We have to identify how can we help these people to adjust with their depression, their stress. Parce qu'une personne qui finit arrive 60 ans à monter, psychologiquement, that person, he or she is not feeling good in their skin because they feel that they're getting old. They feel it's a new living situation. They debate agacé pour nous capables ajuster. Yeah, and also with the loss of loved ones, right? Donc, parce que quand on arrive à un certain âge, on trouve everybody, my friends are passing away, ou bien same age group people are passing away, it creates grief. Que nous trouvons des difficultés pour reprendre. Another point would be anxiety disorder, which is very, very high in older people. Now, how to cure anxiety? We do have supportive counseling groups in Mauritius. You know, in a tellement ONG, donc you would also identify as a social worker. You have my God. Right. Okay. Pauline was talking, so I mute her, right? I know it happens because when you're at home, you can't control things, right? Look, we also have anxiety disorder, right? And then where I said you have Université Troisième Âge, we also have NGOs which provide supportive counseling to the elderly and to the family members. And these old people that experience panic disorder often, of course they would. Because, you know, they are forgetting things and then they fear, am I behaving rightly? Am I causing nuisance to others? So that will create panic disorder in them. They do have a lot of PTSD. Now you know the meaning of PTSD by now. Parce que tu fais mental disorder la dernière fois, post-traumatic stress disorder, because they have accumulated a lot throughout life. Right? If we, you know, when you reached a certain age, 60, 70, 80, you're retired, you would be thinking about what you've done whole life, how many people have been sucking, firing, you know, how whatever I've done in my life, it crops. All these memories would be haunting you. So, and then OCD. OCD means they would again and again repeat the same pattern. Another point would be you have to know the word dementia, because many people think dementia cannot be cured, but it can be cured. You know, dementia, it can be reduced by psychotherapy sessions. And you know what is psychotherapy sessions we've done in mental illness chapter. For example, the way you talk, your tonality, your approach, right? Your individual contribution quand tu peux amener une communication avec une personne qui mentalement pas bien. Or we also have psycho-educational support groups. We do have in the NGOs, which we serve. We also have memory training strategy. Now, you are very lucky you are in this session. If you are very attentive right now at 1h30, I will give you one tip, right? Now, that would be again one tip for you. How do you train your memory? One easy trick would be start using your less dominated hand. Par exemple, dans un petit service, la main droite pour brosser les dents, pour peindre les cheveux, ou bien balayer la case, whatever work you're doing, you use your right hand, right? You start using your left hand. That would be a memory training. Ou bien, si you gaucher, you would start using your right hand. Donc, à partir d'aujourd'hui, tantôt qu'on peut brosser les dents, savez où l'autre la main pour brosser les dents, when you're taking your spoon to eat. These are memory training tools. We have hundreds of memory training strategies. If you want, you can go and surf on that. If you want, you can email me and ask me for that. I'll be guiding you, right? Look, I've already given you a very simple technique which you can put into practice right now, immediately. Now, quatrième,
Madame, excusez-moi.
Oui, Devika.
Au capable de nous, c'est pour nous-mêmes personnellement, mais là, comment ça aide nous, finalement,
ok,
au final?
allez, Devika, c'est une very beautiful question. Donc, au fait, des fois, n'oubliez pas de choses, right? You often forget. Si vous oubliez la clé l'auto, n'oubliez éteindre la lumière, n'oubliez le four, n'oubliez éteindre gaz, right? Donc, why it happens? À cause de facteurs. And it could be genes. It could be physiquement, we're getting old, physiquement, you overstress, and then you're forgetting. It could also be you multitask and trop beaucoup de choses in your life, and then you don't have time, you know? It could be your diet aussi qui peut créer pour mémoire. But the moment you start using your less dominated hand, right? On peut trouver les pour trigger memory. Parce que, comme a dit, nous besoin réapprendre. Allez, mettons Devika, puis brosse les dents avec la main droite. Tous les jours, grand matin, tantôt. Droite, 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 droite. Now, when you take your toothbrush avec la main gauche, vous pouvez brosser les dents. For you to do the movement, vous pouvez relearn, unlearn, do, undo. Vous pouvez réapprendre, same things, right? When you do it dans le sens opposé, les viennent training de mémoire. Vous pouvez trouver, you know, in your brain, you have lots of neurons, right? These neurons get reconnected and they get reactivated. Very, very scientific and very, very effective tools, right? Maintenant, aussi, Devika, il y a Devika avec les autres qui pas capable poke in comments, right? We have a lot of other memory training strategy, which is not in your syllabus, but after the session, you are free to email me anytime and I will help you in that. Maintenant, quickly, we have depression, which is very treatable, but we often overlook. Nous pensons, ça vient du monde là, la dépression, ben, les mettre, les qui pour connaître, etc. C'est faux, right? Because when we overlook depression, then that person is very affected. And then that elderly person will think of committing suicide. You know, suicide, c'est un autre facteur qui est là, un autre problème qui est là, le bonne personne âgée, because often suicide is not identified by primary healthcare providers. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire primary healthcare providers? C'est immediate family members ou bien the immediate carer qui peut take care of that person, right? It could be kids of that person ou bien frères, sœurs, etc. Donc, vous n'êtes pas arrive à identifier une parole, un mot, un regard qui peut dire moi, j'ai pensé suicidaire maintenant, I don't want to live, etc. I'm a burden, ou bien moi, peut créer problème pour ma famille, etc. Right? Donc, these things are very treatable. You only have to identify by the way the person talks, the way the person behaves, and then you can help that person. Maintenant, attendez, hein? Right. Donc, nous zoom pour finir dans 5 minutes, right? And then we reconnect again, comme that. L'histoire du Zoom. Donc, meantime, when our Zoom is off, when you will re-log again, meantime, please surf on memory training strategy. Entre-temps, nous pouvons continuer up to it's over, 4 minutes, 20 secondes. Donc, effects on memory. We have 3 types of memory: sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Sensory memory veut dire everything that we see. Nous pouvons passer, nous pouvons voyager, trouver un pied, coco, pied mangue, etc. You see things which are sensory. You see because you don't want to retain it. Maintenant, short-term memory, it means limited duration. Par exemple, dans la boutique, nous allons un camarade, ou bien you talk on a phone conversation. That would be short-term memory. Your long-term memory means things that you retrieve. Par exemple, nous apprenons un skill, ou bien nous apprenons un collègue au travail. And then you keep this memory because you know this memory is useful and you will be using it later. Now, older people are less able to recall. right? In older people, long-term memory loss is very prone. Maintenant, implications of aging for social work profession. Maintenant, c'est vrai, it is very challenging. Mais par contre, on sait le mot difficult, c'est challenging for social worker to deal with changing demographic, right? Parce que quand tu parles avec une personne qui aged, your client, you also have to deal with family members of that client. You also have to deal with many things, policy, legal. Et puis, à times, une personne qui nous peut dire, c'est une monde qui bien challenging. They don't want to sit and listen. You need lots of patience. Donc, there are few guidelines that you can follow. For example, your first would be assess and address values and bias regarding aging. Vous trouvez dans la famille même, il y a beaucoup de bias qu'on a fait un field visit to a home ou bien to a POP, and pocket of poverty, right? You could trouver many people that they won't bother about how an old person is feeling there. Look, your work would be to identify and to address those values, to respect and promote all the clients' right to dignity. Donc, on est trouvé dans la famille, you're catering for family members, please go and have a one-to-one conversation with the elderly person. Comment on dit, maintenir eye contact. You know, là, na COVID, nous pas qu'à faire, but at times you can touch the hand, you know, and touch, it means a lot. Apply ethical principles, right? Ou bien respect diversity among all the clients, family, professions. Identify issues, transition de vie, loss of family members, changes in lifestyle. Le mot retirement même, c'est un mot bien difficile pour du monde âgé, right? Provide family support, maintain effective working relations, and have a monitoring chart, right? Comme on l'a fait dernière, tu dis, you need to keep a background of the family. Est-ce qu'il peut progress, il peut regress, ou bien qu'il peut arriver. And then your most challenging situation would be when you deal with angry or hostile adults. Le mot hostile veut dire un adulte qui pas les mêmes dialoguer, pas les mêmes communiquer, they don't want to open up. You also have to know and be aware on laws, public policies, nous la loi, nous légal, etc. qui dit à Maurice, right? Now, in 30 seconds, our Zoom will be off. Donc, meantime, you have a quick activity also. Donc, analyze the guidelines and critically assess their relevance to the local situation. How far can these be applicable? Right? Donc, meantime, please go through. I know personne va vous faire activité là même. I know you, but still, right? Those of you who are active on the other side of this screen, dig in, Meantime, we're waiting for your batchmates to log in. You can work on this activity. Meantime, on va recommencer dans 2 minutes.
Madame,
Yes.
est-ce que les disorders qu'on a vus chez les vieilles personnes, anxiety disorder, dementia, ça peut être aussi dans les jeunes personnes? Ça
Yes.
peut se développer depuis le jeune âge.
Of course, yes. Oui, you are very right, Brina. Mais il faut aussi pas oublier, you know, when people get retired, right? Il y a des gens qui ont travaillé toute une vie, tout le temps. Ils commencent à travailler 18 ans, à monter, travailler. Du coup, 60, 65, when they have to retire, they can't. You know, I have a case that I was working with a guy, un monsieur qui a 65 ans, bien calé, bien posté au ministère. You know, the guy came with his daughter at clinic. Pour me dire, he attempted suicide 2 fois. He could not be at home. And you would love, parce que elle me dit, enjoy your life. You know, life starts at 60. And he said, Madame, longtemps, je pas travail. Mon patient a dit, madame, la case. Là, mon avant la case, 24 ans, vous pouvez trouver mon madame, vous pouvez tenir mon madame, vous pouvez manger. You know, donc these things trigger mental disorder. Yes.
It depends on how he is living with a woman also, since, like I said, since the beginning when he started to live with her.
Exactly, Brina. Donc, we have to be very careful. Now, nous, à 30 ans, 40 ans, we tend to take things for granted. Non? Nous pensons que nous allons nous retire. Donc, we have to be very careful. À cause ça, l'important throughout life, we self-evaluate. Il y a une question que moi t'ai demandé la dernière fois. I said, please ask yourself, what legacy am I leaving behind? Right? Demain, comme on n'est plus dans ce travail-là, what will people talk about me? Ou bien demain, when I'm not in the family, how will my family members think about me? Ou bien right now, when I am at work, right? What will be my family members talking about me? Donc, quand on a une question pareille, quand on peut self-evaluate constantly, you're also preparing yourself to be demain quand on retire, when you have no choice. Pareil, comment on a un confinement? You know, we had lots of couple problems. Confinement, c'était pique. Comment mettre mon portable off parce que everybody was looking for couple session. You know, donc, quand nous trouvons, nous n'avons pas vivre avec même personne in one place. Then pas de quoi miracle, it becomes very difficult. Donc, you are right, it starts at a very young age. Quand nous trouvons, again and again, you're stressed, depressed, ou bien lots of anger tantrum, right? And you don't care about it. Nous pensons, comment dire, c'est, my life is hectic. Yeah, oui, Brina, nous pensons, comment dire, nous bien occupés, nous prenons le temps pour self-care about this, etc. Nous pouvons contribuer, nous permettre de modifier la case, nous amène casse la case. Donc, these things contribute a lot to mental problem later in life, right? Donc, and that was a very good question. Meantime, anyone else, you have any question avant to proceed? Could you identify policy? Could you read on this act number 16 of 2005? If you have not, you know, please, again, I always say that you can't grow only by learning in Open University. You have to keep learning again and again on your own. Instead of watching TikTok, you know, sa tendance, you know, vous get TikTok pour aller le TikTok is a waste of time. Take some time and upgrade yourself. Upgrade and keep learning about things. Parce que when you are working, when you are contributing to someone, vous pouvez faire une communication avec quelqu'un, vous pouvez faire une counseling as a social worker. You are helping that person parce que nous déjà avons beaucoup de knowledge, right? Donc, if you have no questions on gerontology, can we move on leadership? Or do you have questions? And feel free, vous trouvez la plupart en tout, mes collègues, en petit envoyez-moi une question par email. Feel free. I take time to answer, but I reply to everyone, right? Now, let us proceed with leadership. And if you have questions tout à l'heure on gerontology, we will go back on that, right? So what is leadership? how leaders can make a difference, how social workers may develop skills to be leaders. Maintenant, leadership is everywhere. I would also say leadership is at home. Et I would say leadership starts by you. Leadership, c'est pas at management ou bien at work. Leadership, c'est the way you choose to communicate. Do I bully others? Ou bien am I bullied by others? You know? Et la fois, quand on ne pas arrive à dire non, you know, et la fois, beaucoup de gens comme ça, je ne suis pas capable de dire non. I have to keep quiet when people say things. This is also a lack of leadership to yourself. Leadership starts right from your own thoughts. If you can't control your own thoughts, you can't control your monkey mind, you can't control your words. Donc ça appelle, how can you be a leader outside when you can't be a leader inside first, right? So from management to communication, leadership is everywhere. Maintenant, how social workers can become a leader? You know, social work leadership is, ça, c'est a beautiful word which is directly derived from your own book, right? This part directly from your own book. I copy paste because c'est vraiment to the point. So social work leadership is the capacity to work creatively. So that you are innovatively, you're adding your input constructively, effectively with individuals, families, groups, organizations, communities. Why? Because you need to promote social justice. Après, you can catalyze social change. Catalyze veut dire they act like an enzyme. You know, you speed up social changes qui na autour de vous. And you address individual and social problems all together. This would be your leadership, right? The moment you had one person, the moment you had one community ou bien one family, déjà là, il montrait your leadership as a social worker. Maintenant, leaders accomplish this by inspiring vision, right? Donc, quand on peut travailler as social worker ou bien wherever you're working, as a teacher ou bien as an officer ou bien as a boss, you know? Donc, how are you inspiring people? Ou bien, what would be your vision? Quand on travaille dans l'organisation, what do you expect from that team? And how do you offer direction, support, etc., mutual values? Now, I would ask you a question. When we talk on values and mission of an organization, right? On dit, on peut faire beaucoup de modules at Open University. You're learning many, many things, right? Who, without cheating, right? Who can say right now, what is the value and mission and vision of my own organization? Do you know that? Out of 60, peut-être, mon cas, un ou bien deux entre nous, dans nos groupes qui vous connaissent ça, but you often don't know. Parce que you're working in an organization. Par exemple, vous travaillez dans un ministère, dans un département. Do you know the mission and vision of your ministry? Do you know the mission and vision of your department? This would be called leadership. Donc, the first thing, go and learn mon organisation qui fait exister, mon département qui fait exister, qui se mission, qui se vision. Then you would start working on that, le mot de leadership derived in you. Now we have many, many qualities of a leader. Tout livre, tout scientiste de nos différents descriptions de qui était ça, un leader. Mais en gros, c'est someone who has courage. You know, despite backbiting, despite judgments, you have the courage to persevere, you have the courage to help, you have the courage to move forward. Ça appelle leader. Ou bien peu importe quel type de ailments we have. We have physical ailments, we have mental ailments, we have family problems, but the moment you have the courage to move, it means you are a leader. Leader also means having self-control. Self-control in your communication, self-control in your thoughts, and self-control in who you choose to mingle with, right? Qualities of a leader would also mean a keen sense of justice. Ça veut dire ou tout le temps la droite. You have the knowledge to differentiate between right and wrong. Another point would be, you know how to take decisions, right? Parce que des fois, dis-moi dire comme ça, hey, je ne sais pas qui me pense aujourd'hui, une rôti dans le pourri, you know? Donc, des fois, when you hesitate in minor decisions, it reflects your leadership level, right? In minor things, you can judge yourself. Ou bien, how do you plan things? And moi qui nous dit, work on smart plans. SMART. You must be knowing this, you know, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic time frame, right? Donc, working on plans, organizing your day. Pas comme si, aujourd'hui, je me lever 5 heures, demain, je me lever 8 heures, dimanche, je me lever midi, you know, and I don't know what to do with my day and my life. Aujourd'hui, je me bureau, demain, je me l'autre bureau. Donc, know where you want to go and know your plan. Plan your own life first. That would be leadership. Another point would be the habit of doing more than paid for. You know, I did that for many places. I was working more than I was paid. Tout le temps, c'était un éthique inconscient qui me tenait tout le temps, you know. And then it's like, you know, you're contributing maximum to whatever you're working. Pas que nous disons, je gagne la paye autant là, mais je contribuer autant. Quatrième, je besoin pour mon paquet, je besoin aller, etc., etc. Another point would be a pleasing personality. No one would love a leader with no pleasing personality, no smile, ou bien pena charismatic, etc. You need to be someone who is approachable and person qui facilement, you have this pleasing attitude. Sympathy and understanding, right? You're not judging people when they're talking or bien when they're expressing their mental trauma. Mastery of details. Ça veut dire you have this, on a sa patience là, on a une patience pour que nous capables d'être à l'écoute and then you take notes of things which are important. And you assume full responsibility. Des fois, quand on a une bêtise au travail, on dit, lis ça, pas moi ça, lis ça, you know? Donc, taking the responsibility and giving a shoulder to your batchmates and cooperation, collaboration. Là, nous trouvons de nos jours, very few of you would want to be in teamwork. We don't often want to cooperate, right? Now, you would also write down all qualities. This question I modified. Li pas comment au livre trop basic, right? You would write down all qualities of leadership you have, your colleagues have, and your boss have. C'est-à-dire pour identifier un type de leadership qui ou même ou collègue après ou boss ou bien ou departmental head ou CEO ou bien whomever, and explain how can you as a social worker ou bien as a student enhance your leadership qualities. Là, this would be a self-evaluation technique. Comment tout à l'heure là on a parlé, many of you who have never self-evaluated, later on in life we have issues to bring a balance in your thoughts and then internal, external situation, etc. Now, we have these elements of leadership. For example, you have self-awareness. Vous trouvez self-awareness bien primordial in that. A leader should know himself or herself. Et la dernière fois, j'ai parlé on SWOT of an organization. If you have been doing management, you would know what is a SWOT for an organization, and you would conduct a self-SWOT to know where do you situate. You would identify your own strength, your own weakness, your own opportunity, your own threats. What am I scared of? These are few questions that we worked on dernière fois. Now, elements of leadership means ethics, integrity, ou bien your way of communication, ou bien executive presence. Vous êtes tout le temps là, nous présent when there is need to be. And you believe in developing your talent. C'est-à-dire you believe in constantly upgrading yourself. And then le mot being bold, having the courage to take initiative, innovations, strategic thinking vision. And how do you develop strategic thinking vision? It is by conducting research. For example, you have everything available in internet now. Comme auparavant, c'était you had to go and sit in a library and then look for a situation. Now you can quickly identify many things in the internet, how you would build relation and how you would operational excellence, how you would work in a team, right? Though another word would also be in leadership, you have this mentoring, providing support, you know your goals, you believe in getting trained and giving training to others. You listen to advice and you are up to give advice, motivation, and then you're happy with your colleague's success and then you will celebrate as a teamwork. Maintenant, il y a five, I tell you where exactly in your book. You have this on page 90 of your book, right? So these are 5 types of power. Après ça, we have a very beautiful questions on politics that you will enjoy, right? The first would be legitimate, your position, your role. Then you have reward, ability to give reward. You have cohesive, ability to give punishment, your reward, punishment. In psychology, you know how these are words which have been using it. Many nous savons avec you know, étudiant ou bien un teacher. How a teacher would motivate a student by giving reward or punishment. Ou bien at times it can be parents. Quatrième, c'est expert, having superior knowledge, and then referent. Maintenant, you know, politicians are often criticized for the use of power. Once before being elected, and then on assuming office. Quand nous disons un politicien, à Maurice ou bien worldwide, nous devons criticize them about how they are assuming things. Now, based on these 5 types of power, how is this manifested, right? That would be a mini research that you would do. For example, you know, without taking names of anyone, you would only try to relate politicians in legitimate, pre-election ou bien post-election, etc., etc. C'est une meilleure technique for you to learn on that. Maintenant, est-ce que c'est une question that you often ask, are leaders born? Or you would say, my child is born to be a leader, you know? Donc, leadership is a set of skills. Maintenant, leadership is built, right? Based on parenting, based on home environment, based on school, based on university, teachers, etc. So everything correlates to bring the leader in a person, right? So that would be on leadership development plan. For example, quickly you have a leadership mentoring. You do have coaching about how being a leader, those of you who want to be leaders. And job rotation, in your job, but often in private sector, we have job rotation, right? So then you experience different criteria of holding a position in a, for example, clerical officer in one department, another department, etc. You have professional certification courses, you have professional development courses, which you can have online. Et ou capable self-learn to be leader. Now we have this thing called 360-degree feedback program, right? Just give me a second, right? Okay. Now what we mean by 360-degree? Okay, c'est a survey method used to collect feedback on an individual's performance from a wide range of relevant viewpoints. For example, Nous avons un collègue, and you as a leader, you want to promote that colleague. So what do? You need to use the 360-degree performance feedback. For example, you could demand and feedback on that person from many people, from a subordinate and security guard and superior. Why? Because you don't want to have biased attitudes. For example, if you want to promote that person and you go and ask his or her colleague, right? And collègue capable de nous une raison bias on that person, positively or negatively. But if you use 360-degree feedback, you ask feedback from a manager, from customer, from friends, or then direct reports, you have an accurate picture of individual performance, right? So, that would be how you analyze leadership quality in somebody. Dernier, donc by analyzing the Mauritian situation, comment nous était là, of social workers, how can 360-degree performance feedback can be effective to solve problems? That would be an activity that you can work, right? So that would be the end of the session. Of course, you have time to ask me lots of questions right now. And the next session, nous pouvons couvrir unit on child psychology again, un petit peu plus détaillé. And then I will give you direct tips for exam, right? The next session is very important. Next session, which is due, I think on 28, bien important à cause nous pouvons directement l'eau question. I will make you practice live, right? Questions, answers that you might have for exams. No questions now? Ou bien on finit dormi? Are you awake? Hello?
Awake, madam, awake.
Okay, bah, allez, good to know. Donc, questions ou bien feel free to email. Many of you do email me, you know, you ask questions, feel free. And I'm happy you email me, you ask me questions. If you hesitate to ask questions here, email and ask questions. I'll be guiding you. Right now, do you have questions that can help your batchmates? If no questions, we can end. No questions, right? Bon, so we get film en même temps que can make television on, you know, you're watching movies and then eating and then you tune to the lecture meantime. Donc, don't be scared for your assignment. Come on, Joe, everybody has good marks and I'm still waiting, even if you're penalized, envoie-moi des assignments qui manquaient, right? If no questions, then have a great evening and have a great weekend.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
Sorry,
please.
ma'am. When will we have the assignment, please?
Pardon?
When will we get the assignment back?
I have to inquire with Open University, right? No, you won't
Okay.
get it back. You won't get your
No, I
assignment
mean
back.
the marks. I mean the markings.
So we've submitted to Open University. They will be
Okay.
sending you the marks all together. Nous pensons avec les autres tutors qui na, tutor can finir corriger all together, and then you will have your marks from them, directly from them, right?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
Madame,
Yes, Luna?
je n'ai pas reçu de confirmation que j'ai envoyé l'assignment pour Oyume.
Allez, donc, your marks, and then 2 of you who have not given assignment, these will be communicated by Open University, right? But we already have an Excel form where we enlisted all those who submitted and your marks. But in my paper, la plupart parce que moi je fais nos tips, I said, I guided how you would conduct that. So everybody did well. Donc, your most challenging part would be your exam, right? Parce que l'examen, c'est directement on board. And everybody submitted a mixture of questions, you know, and there's a panel. The panel qui peut décider out of these questions what they would choose to pick and give for your paper. But nous pouvons faire révision pour tout, everything that I've given them. Nous pouvons faire tout ça, ma question la révision ici. And then at least you know out of these questions, 3 quarts, it will be out for your exam. Right? Look for your results assignment directly. It will be Open University, mais il n'est pas pour de nous individual que pour moi ou bien pour un autre lecturer. Il est pour de nous all together for all 3 tutors, and then you will have your marks. Donc,
Non, pas pour les points, madame. Quand j'ai envoyé
Yeah.
l'assignment pour social work, j'ai reçu confirmation mail. Mais
Non,
pour
c'est pas-
psychologie, non.
Okay, donc let me just inquire book and then I will get back to you.
Madam, for me also, I haven't received
Okay, merci.
acknowledgement
Okay, look, these
for assignment.
these would be communicated to you by Open University, right? To email que nous envoyez, bon, pensez they're bulky also, but be patient. Après, wait for their feedback, right? But in our session, nous pas pour paniquer, il n'y a que 2, comme on dit, 2 personnes. And I know the name. Yes?
Sorry to interrupt. Have you received my assignment? It's Fatma.
Fatma, I'm again saying, right? Il n'y a que 2.
I'm afraid I was among the 2.
Donc, nous pas capable, comment dire, pénaliser ça des personnes là by, you know, saying their name. They know who they are and we've communicated to them. Donc, those of you who are asking questions, c'est pas relié à vous. You don't have to worry. Et
Okay, thank
wait
you.
for-
Madame,
Merci.
Oui.
tu ne recevoir pour moi? Mon pas de mail.
Allez, everybody, right? Everybody. I will again repeat. Only 2 of you who have not given assignment, they have been communicated. I have these 2 names. Pour pas être biased, I will not be saying the names, but si pas ou, then it's not you. Don't have to worry about that. Your assignment marks and any question you have on assignment, it will be communicated directement by Open University. See, up to now, you have not received call, c'est pas où. Donc, I know the name aussi, right? C'est pas, you don't have to worry about that. Ou assignment fini corrigé, fini gagner point tout. Okay, donc, enjoy your evening, right? Enjoy your evening and feel free to email. Donc, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, madam. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you,
Bye,
ma'am.
madame.
Bye, Vinesh. Bye-bye.
Direct.